Bamenda, the Northwest Regional Capital, where he had his residence, and also get what the family is saying after the fall of the big baobab tree of Cameroon's politics. We are going to be talking this throughout this time, and also taking calls from you all who are watching us from across the nation and out of the nation to also tell us what you think, what impact Nation Truly created in your life and that of the nation. But to note that so many persons are already writing, describing him as the father of Cameroon's democracy. Some say he is the father of the peace that we have been enjoying in Cameroon. What do you think about the man, Nation Truly? You can go on our Facebook pages and also drop some tributes there so that we can read them out and share in the grief of the family of Nation Truly, as well as the Social Democratic Front that is living so much painful. At time as we speak this morning, we are also going to be discussing with Chris Obi, who is one of us working out here at My Media Prime TV, Fangood Rombang, the nation's economic capital. Mr. Chris, we're glad to have you.
Good morning, Leo. Ashia.
Ashia to you too. Painful Tuesday for Cameroonians and especially members of the Social Democratic Front. The people of Babatu village out there in Santa subdivision, Mesam division of the Northwest region of Cameroon. It's a dark Tuesday for Cameroon.
It is really a dark Tuesday for Babatu, for Bafuchu, because he was always, he spent all his weekends while in Bamenda. He spent all his weekends, his church services he attended at Babatu, and then he was always in between Babatu and Bafuchu and Bamenda. I want to say that when the communique signed by the first vice chairperson of this party, Joshua Osinambangi, landed, it was as if Thunder decided to strike. That's when Thunder really decided to strike. You said something earlier, Leo, that people described him as the father of democracy. I want to say yes, because John Frundi, taking the courage he had to be able to bring forth this party at a certain point in this our nation in Cameroon, when people little thought of attempting such a giant step, or taking such a giant step. We talk about this. You equally mentioned him, according to what people say, the father of peace. If Frundi had accepted not to let go what happened during the election, that everybody know how the result came. What was the outcome of the result? If he didn't accept to give peace a chance, definitely, I want to believe that by now the country would have been through, or would have gone through a terrible situation. I would not be the one to describe it, but we all know, for those of us who have an idea of what happened during the presidential election that year, Leo. So when we talk about Frundi, we'll definitely be talking about the person who is not only a baobab tree, or who is not only standing tall as the tallest tree in the political forest, but it's a forest as a whole.
Okay, we are going to be taking the first listen to Bo Evis present the legacy that the man Nation Truly leaves Cameroon with.
The late chairman of the Social Democratic Front, Nation Truly, will be remembered as someone who played a great role in Cameroon's democracy. He narrowly missed the 1992 presidential election and has always rejected the option of walking on blood to access political power.
Now, anybody who has lost a close friend, a close family member, has a heavy heart. And when we started with the social democratic options for democracy and freedom to the Cameroonian people in 1990. In 1992, you had the press freedoms, and I think that between the journalists and the SDF, we fought for democracy in Cameroon from then up till today. But now where we are, that people are being abducted and assassinated, I want to believe that they assassinated them because they are doing their job, and maybe they might have made a statement that touched somebody somewhere, somehow. Sitting here in your studio, I'm really, really worried about our country, worried about the world.
Although he leaves behind a divided party, Nijon Frundi did not see things this way. During a long chat with this reporter a few months back, the chairman said he never had preference for anyone at the helm of the SDF and has been concerned about the well-being of Cameroonians.
When the SDF started, we fought for democracy, we fought for the freedom of speech, we fought for so many things in our country. We fought for the rights of teachers. So you journalists should now take up your stance and fight for your own core of work, and the other people should stand for their own. Maybe teachers, trade unions, and the other unions should be able to stand as a body to fight for the truth in our country. Today you're able to talk. I think that some of the things we say in this radio station, you could not say them before 1990. But today you're able to say them. I believe that we should have responsible journalism and for people to fight for their rights.
To Nijon Frundi, the SDF remained committed to its initial ideals and did not at any point adhere to the ideals of the ruling party, as many people insinuated.
Thank you, Bo Elvis, for that quick one from Yaoundé, the nation's capital. We are moving straight to Bamenda to take a pulse of the ambience reigning at the Ntarikon residence of the national chairman. Is seemingly not yet ready. Let's take a report from Lasha Kingsley when Chairman Nijon Frundi returned from the United States of America in 2020.
Nijon Frundi returned in the early hours of Sunday, November 1, 2020, after spending 10 months in the United States of America. A cream of dignitaries stemming from top party officials, militants and sympathizers, religious leaders, ministers, members of parliament all turned out at the chairman's Soir residence in Yaoundé to give him a warm welcome back home, as well as take part in the ecumenical service organized by the SDF party to pay homage to Barrister Sama Francis, Honorable Mbandam, and a series of tragic incidents which happened in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon while the chairman was away.
Now that all the people across the board have come for us to cry them, let this love transcend across all the facets of things that we are doing in Cameroon. Because until we love each other, until we are honest to each other to tell the truth, we cannot change this country.
The honest truth is that we are here on the auspices of the ecumenical service which the chairman has organized for the passing away of some of his very close collaborators of the SDF. And I was opportune to be invited. I have been able to discuss with the chairman personally, and we discussed a few things about the country and about the crisis which is going on in the Anglophone region.
Speaking during the twin ceremony, Frundi blamed some of the tragic incidents on the young people for what he termed quest for fast money.
None of them came to me, but I told them that they should come together and choose a leadership. Because, go to Bamenda, there are different camps. Abroad, there are different camps. When I had Zoom conferences with them, I was able to count at least 18 different camps. How do you, if you cannot agree, how would the children on the field agree? No. So that all grabbing people now is money. And that's why you, the younger generation, I blame you. Because everybody's, I need money now. And I want it now. Let us work for our country. And the monies will come. God bless you all.
The first Vice National Chairman, Honorable O.C. Joshua, speaking to the press shortly after the ceremony, said though the National Chairman was away, the party was still functioning normally.
We are grateful to have him back with us. It has been a difficult time for both the chairman and the party. And as you know, the party constitution is such that the vice presidents of the party execute duties assigned to them by the national chairman. So the party was functioning all okay. Maybe it wasn't functioning as some people would have wished it to function, but I think there is nothing you could say that the party was supposed to do that it didn't do. And the national chairman is back. He's back in town, meaning that over the coming weeks, we'll be sitting together to try to work out on our activities for 2021.
The SDF party plans to organize a press conference in the days ahead to address some of the burning issues affecting the life of the nation.
Okay, from this report by Lasha Kingsley, we just have been joined by Monsieur Mathurin Biol, a member of Shadow Cabinet for the Social Democratic Front, member of NEC also. Good morning, we're glad to have you and accept our condolence.
Good morning, thank you very much for your condolences. Donc bonjour à vos téléspectateurs, merci pour vos condoléances. Nous sommes effectivement profondément attristés. Nous avons appris ce matin le décès du chairman Ni John Fundi, le leader charismatique de notre parti depuis les années 1990. C'est un moment de douleur intense, profond. Donc nous pensons tout simplement que nos ancêtres nous donneront suffisamment de force pour soutenir une telle épreuve et pour porter plus haut, n'est-ce pas, le lourd fardeau que le chairman nous transmet aujourd'hui. Donc c'est pour nous un moment d'émotion très intense. C'est pour nous un moment d'émotion très vive. Donc nous avons suffisamment besoin de force pour pouvoir traverser cette période. Nous étions à l'aube d'un grand congrès. Nous étions à l'aube d'un congrès historique. Un congrès qui, n'est-ce pas, devait nous permettre de transmettre le flambeau, permettre au chairman de transmettre le flambeau à la nouvelle génération que nous représentons. Nous étions à l'aube d'un congrès qui devait être historique. Donc, pour nous, c'est vraiment douloureux. Le congrès était prévu pour le 28, 29 et 30 juillet. Donc, et nous préparions au chairman une sortie honorifique, digne du parcours de l'homme, digne du vécu de l'homme, digne de l'histoire de l'homme. Donc pour nous c'est totalement triste. Donc et nous sommes d'autant plus courageux que nous comprenons que les Camerounais partagent avec nous ce moment de tristesse. Nous recevons d'un peu partout, nous recevons des messages de condoléances, nous recevons des soutiens des Camerounais, que ce soit à l'intérieur du pays, que ce soit à l'extérieur du pays. Ils nous adressent leur réconfort, ils nous adressent leur soutien, ils nous adressent leurs encouragements. Donc pour nous, ce n'est que tout à fait encourageant, tout à fait réconfortant de traverser cette période en sachant que les Camerounais sont avec nous et que les Camerounais vivent avec nous ce pénible moment.
Ok, mais c'est une responsabilité, challenge énorme qui vous laisse.
Oui, effectivement, c'est un très grand challenge, c'est une lourde responsabilité. Le chairman de ces 33 années a porté sur lui, on peut le dire, la charge de tenir la barque, de tenir le parti debout, malgré toutes les épreuves que le SDF a connues, malgré toutes les difficultés. Le bateau a tangué, mais le bateau n'a jamais sombré. Donc, en ce moment difficile, nous mesurons la dimension, la hauteur, la grandeur de la charge que le chairman nous laisse. Conduire le plus loin possible Sinon, là où il aurait souhaité que le chairman soit, le SDF soit, c'est-à-dire à la tête de cette nation. Le chairman, avec ses compagnons de lutte dans les années 1990, lorsqu'ils ont lancé le SDF, c'était afin que le SDF soit un parti de gouvernement. Un parti qui devait mettre sur pied son programme politique, qui devait implémenter la vision que les pères fondateurs avaient du SDF. Donc maintenant que le chairman est décédé en cours de chemin, vous comprenez la lourde tâche que nous avons à travailler dur afin que cette mission soit accomplie.
Okay.
Faire parvenir le SDF au pouvoir et afin que le SDF réalise son programme politique.
We are moving straight to Bamenda at Nigel Frundi's residence out there in Tarikon to get the first reactions from surely family, friends, and neighbors. Cum Leonard.
Cum Leonard.
Okay.
I don't know if you have changed your name.
Okay. No. It's arrest.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the death, just to remind those who are watching that the death was announced this morning of the national chairman of the Social Democratic Front, Nigel Frundi, out there in Yaoundé, the nation's capital, and tributes have been pouring in from across the nation. And I don't know whether Charles Kebois is on standby to feed us on how Bamenda received the news of the passing of Nigel Frundi.
And good morning, and welcome to the Northwest region, where we're talking from the regional headquarters, where it's actually directly linking you from the resident of the national chairman of the Social Democratic Front. We are here, thousands are flocking into the compound to say the Baobab is gone. Green, red, yellow, green, white here at the chairman's compound is at half-mast. The official statement from the National Executive of the Social Democratic Front, the SDF, indicating the chairman and politician Nigel Frundi died last night, June 12, 2023, at about 11:30 p.m. and signed by the first Vice National Chairman, Honorable Osi Joshua, after a long illness, with sadness. Militants, supporters, sympathizers, friends, family members are flocking into the Tarinkun residence of the national chairman to actually pay him homage. His demise is coming at the time he has announced that he will not stand for the position of the chairman of the party in the upcoming convention elections. Will also be remembered as one who stood for justice and had on several occasions condemned the ongoing socio-political crisis in the Northwest and Southwest region and the country at large. You know, Chairman Frundi have been kidnapped and brutalized by non-state armed men that held on his ideology, calling on separatist fighters to give, human space in the struggle. We are here today in this compound. Very soon there will be a requiem mass, in honor of him, as we await when an official statement will be made about his burial. But it should be noted, the disease Nigel Frundi is actually the kingpin and one of those that launched the SDF in May 26, 1990 at the Liberty Square here in Bamenda, and is described as, one of the frontline leaders who fought democracy, in Cameroon. With me here, I have the mayor of Bamenda 3, whom Nijon Frundi is one of his mentors. Mayor, how did you learn about, the demise of the SDF Nijon Frundi in few words?
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk to my media prime. I want to say that me, in my capacity as the next team leader for the Northwest, the news of the demise of the chairman met us yesterday evening, and we couldn't believe that it was true. The national chairman, who is my personal mentor since the launch of the party in 1990, is the father of democracy in Cameroon, because he actually introduced and forced democracy into the nation. Nijon Frundi is also the one who fought for press freedom. If the media in Cameroon have some degree of freedom today, it's thanks to Nijon Frundi. Nijon Frundi has mentored so many Cameroonians. He has empowered so many Cameroonians. He is the human rights defender. He fought for democracy and liberation of Cameroonians from the dictatorial regime of the CPDM. And today he is no more. But I want to think that the SDF will continue.
The SDF will continue equally as, we equally caught up with former member of parliament for Tuba Bafut, Honorable Namukong, who is here equally and mourning the national chairman, Nijon Frundi. How did this message got into you when you learned about the demise of the national chairman?
I got this information highly demoralized because we did not expect our chairman to pass on without us having the convention. We thought our chairman was supposed to hand over the baton to the next leader. But since we cannot question that, we accept God for who he is. And we accept the departure of our chairman as a way of life. Our chairman believed in Christian values, and we believe that he has just been called home at the right time.
Why today's, funeral mass or service that this morning that we are about to watch in the compound?
Well, the funeral mass that we are organizing the compound is to pay homage to a great man, and also to let us know that above everything, the God who keeps us alive is responsible for our present and our future. And us, those of us, the SDF militants, are also Christians, and it is only through Christianity that we can score our goals. So we believe that hearing a message of this magnitude, we should thank God, because the Bible says in everything, give thanks.
In everything, give thanks to God. That is actually it. And, Chairman John Frundi had been resident in one of the electoral districts, which is the Bamenda 2, and that is actually where his base has actually been. We equally are here with the district chairman of Bamenda 2 to tell us how they think and what will be the next venture towards this management.
Thank you. Well, we know that our father, the father of democracy, the father of multipartyism, the father of freedom of press in Cameroon, has left a legacy which we are called upon to continue.
Well, for now,
hello, Charles.
That is how thousands are actually making it into the compound to pay last homage as they await, what will come
hello,
as
Charles.
The final verdict towards the burial of
Hello?
Louis Baobab. The press is live here in the Farrington residence. Security
Hello,
is
Charles
there.
Kebwan.
I would say, yeah, hello?
Yes, Charles, we are glad to have been receiving feedback or reactions from Bamenda through you, and also happy to note that the press is heavily present to cover what is happening. It is a shocking news to Cameroonians and the people of the Northwest region in particular. Also, very painful blow to the members of the Social Democratic Front, the SDF, and the people of Baba too, and the family of Nijon of Frundi. I want to ask you if any information has trickled out of the administration of the Northwest region so far.
Well, the news came in last night, and to be honest before you, as of moment, where we've been in this compound since 7:30 a.m., none of the administrators have been here. Or no, neither have I seen a communique from administration of the region. But I hope in the days ahead, they will.
Okay, you think that they are going to come out in the days ahead, but how is the ambience around? The population, the neighbors, are they coming? What are they saying?
Well, the neighbors of here in Farrington, you know, first, let me tell you, the weather in Bamenda as of moment is just like the day we learned of the demise of Archbishop Vetekov. It's just the same as we learned of the demise of, you know, Cardinal Tumi. It's just like we learned of the death of so many of, you know, those who had made it in terms of bringing up, you know, the southern Cameroon or West Cameroon, as many people would think. And I've always witnessed this type of a weather when it comes, when someone who is of high magnitude in this region goes. Well, it's all morning. It's all morning. Farrington mourns, the Bamenda mourns, Ijikwa mourns, Wu mourns, you know, Baba mourns, and entirely I will say Cameroon mourns.
Thank you. We'll be coming back to you. But Charles Kebwa, if we can have some reactions on video, we would greatly appreciate them, especially from some of the members of the Social Democratic Front as well as family members. But if there is any key information that you would want us to pass out to the world through this special program, please let us know so that we get the information out. To say that
quite interesting, and we use this medium to tell our viewers that Pidgin News will be giving us live on Pidgin by 12:30. They should tune to My Media Prime and, you know, follow while we keep on investigating to report live on what is happening from the resident of Nijon fully. We keep book as we'll report on various, you know, news outlets.
Okay. Yes, Christobi is really a dark day, dark clouds over the city of Bamenda, Northwest Regional Capital, like Charles Kebwa is saying.
I very much like that statement, that closing statement from Charles Kebwa's live report, when he's mentioning the fact that the cloud is as dark as it was. It was noticed during the passing away of Archbishop Vesekov, as it was during the passing away of Christian Cardinal Tumi. He's writing history, and another history holds that John Frundi has definitely quitted the scene of political action now, and it should be said that before the last NEC meeting that decided on the date of the next national convention, we got to John Frundi from his Yaoundé residence, and Frundi made me to understand, because I was asking if we could do a live program, a live Allo Country program with John Frundi there in Yaoundé during the national convention. What he told me, my son, if I will still be alive. So if we go by what happened last night and the statement John Frundi made, he knew he was to quit. He knew he was to quit. Very few are those who can say, I won't be there again. And there is a way of addressing, of saying it. If my son, if by then I will still be alive. And he has definitely left before the convention. He has left before the appointment. He didn't want to take. So we should say that it's not only Bamenda or Bafutchu or the Northwest that is mourning. It is the entire, or even because we should expect reactions too from the socialist movement. You quite remember, Leo, that the last outing, the last international before he settled back in Yaoundé, he came in from Côte d'Ivoire, where he was invited to partake in one of these Laurent Gbagbo's how should I call it, national convention out there in Côte d'Ivoire, and he made a very good appearance out there in Abidjan. When he came back, he said he was going to invite Laurent Gbagbo for the national convention. Now, many people are asking the question: how is the reaction out there in Côte d'Ivoire? How is the reaction amongst the other socialist members worldwide? It is a national or international cry that we should talk about. We should be talking about here, Leo.
Okay, international cry. Est-ce que ça vous rend la tâche de faire la convention beaucoup plus difficile maintenant?
Il faut dire que nous étions engagés à organiser cette convention, ce congrès, notamment de façon très active. Nous n'avions que ça en esprit actuellement. Absolument. Donc, maintenant que le décès du chairman nous a été annoncé, vous comprenez que ça nous affecte sérieusement et ça nous affecte sérieusement et ça remet en cause quelque part, n'est-ce pas, déjà, n'est-ce pas, l'éventualité de tenir la date que nous avions prévue. Lorsque nous tenions les réunions du NEC, le chairman insistait véritablement afin que le congrès soit organisé le plus vite parce qu'il sentait les forces, n'est-ce pas, l'abandonner. Il sentait qu'il pourrait ne pas tenir jusqu'au congrès si le congrès était renvoyé. Et il insistait afin que cette date soit maintenue. Et vous avez vu qu'avant cela, il a pris la peine, malgré son état de santé, d'aller rendre visite à son ami Laurent Gbagbo pour le convier à être présent ici à Yaoundé pour le congrès du SDF. Et vous avez vu l'accueil chaleureux que le président Laurent Gbagbo lui a rendu à Abidjan. Donc, et le président Laurent Gbagbo lui a promis qu'il devait être, n'est-ce pas, ici à Yaoundé pour, n'est-ce pas, ces adieux que nous comptions rendre au chairman John Fundi. Donc, voilà que nous avions prévu tout un événement, n'est-ce pas, exceptionnel pour dire merci au chairman pour ces 33 années à la tête du SDF, pour cette présence, n'est-ce pas, pour avoir tenu le cap, pour avoir maintenu le bateau sur les eaux, malgré les eaux troubles. Donc, et tout un événement, toute une commission avait été mise sur pied pour ce qu'on avait appelé des send-off de chairman, c'est-à-dire que cette sortie qu'on nous voulions lui donner, cette sortie grandiose à la dimension de l'homme. Malheureusement, les cieux en ont voulu autrement, les ancêtres en ont décidé autrement. Aujourd'hui, le chairman nous est retiré. Donc, vous comprenez donc que c'est pour nous véritablement difficile. Nous sommes en train de réfléchir, la direction du parti est en train de réfléchir sur la nécessité ou de maintenir le congrès ou de le renvoyer à une date ultérieure. Vous comprenez, ça marque déjà la difficulté que nous sommes en train de traverser.
Le départ du chairman ne devrait pas plutôt être un challenge de plus pour vous du NEC pour pouvoir organiser donc ce congrès afin de lui rendre également ses vibrants hommages parce que je veux dire avant même qu'il ne soit mis en terre, est-ce qu'on ne peut pas vous mettre à la hauteur et essayer d'organiser donc ce congrès là qui sera une autre forme d'hommage grandiose que vous lui rendez. Et deuxième préoccupation, est-ce que vous ne pouvez pas saisir donc cette occasion pour ramener la paix qui semble fuir le parti dans la maison afin que tous parlent d'une même voix et accompagnent dignement le chairman?
Très bonne question. Effectivement, Effectivement, les deux aspects de la question, c'est-à-dire que rendre au chairman un hommage grandiose à travers le Congrès et aussi saisir ce moment, n'est-ce pas, pour unir les différentes forces, n'est-ce pas, du parti qui sont aujourd'hui en train de s'opposer. Effectivement, nous sommes en train de réfléchir, comme je vous le disais. Certains membres de la direction du parti sont actuellement à Yaoundé depuis l'annonce du décès à 23h30 cette nuit. Donc, certains membres de la direction sont à Yaoundé avec la famille. Vous savez que c'est aussi avec la famille qu'on peut organiser tous ces événements. Hein, c'est la famille qui devra dire, la famille biologique bien sûr, qui devra dire à quelle période est-ce qu'elle pense pouvoir organiser les obsèques. Est-ce avant le congrès ou est-ce après le congrès? Est-ce qu'elle souhaiterait? Donc, si la période convient, aussi c'est le parti qui devra maintenant décider si il faut d'abord donner, n'est-ce pas, accorder au chairman son dernier repos avant de venir organiser le congrès. Donc, nous sommes en train de réfléchir et la décision sera prise en ce moment-là. Les Camerounais sauront évidemment quelle est la programmation que la direction du SDF a décidé à cet effet.
Okay, we are moving straight to Yaoundé to get one of the core members, young members of the Social Democratic Front, the person of Chi Dieudonné, who calls Nijon Frundi his mentor. He says everything he has learned in politics is thanks to Nijon Frundi. Okay, if Chi Dieudonné is not around, can we have Rosine, our correspondent in Yaoundé, paints a picture of how things look out there at the residence of the national chairman, Nijon Frundi. Okay, seemingly it's not okay.
I wanted to say something, to add something from what I said before concerning the question that Christophe asked me. Ok, je voulais dire ceci. Sur le deuxième aspect, n'est-ce pas? Effectivement, c'est pour nous une occasion pour les enfants, pour les militants du SDF, n'est-ce pas, de se souder. Et j'ai lu un post qui a été publié par un de nos anciens camarades. Je vais parler du maire Jean-Robert Wafo. Et j'ai compris que vitalement, c'est un moment qui pouvait nous souder. Parce que vous savez que le maire Jean-Robert Wafo on a constaté son auto-exclusion du parti. Donc, mais quand j'ai lu l'hommage qu'il a rendu au chairman, j'ai compris qu'il y avait encore en lui un fibre d'un militant et d'un social-démocrate. Donc, et je pense que c'est l'occasion pour tout cela de se rapprocher du Congrès, n'est-ce pas, et de faire amende honorable. Et à travers le Congrès, n'est-ce pas, ici, ils seront bien sûr réhabilités et ils pourront retrouver les rangs de la famille.
C'est également l'occasion pour l'organisation de ce Congrès de tendre la main.
Tout à fait. La main est tendue. Vous avez suivi au dernier NEC, le vice-président Joshua aussi. Il a dit que la main est tendue. Le Congrès est la main tendue vers tous les militants dont on a constaté l'auto-exclusion. Parce que c'est le Congrès qui est l'organe suprême du SDF. C'est le Congrès qui entérine ou invalide toutes les décisions qui sont prises dans les instances inférieures, que ce soit au NEC ou bien les organes, les instances régionales. Donc c'est le Congrès qui valide ou invalide. Donc le Congrès en lui-même déjà est une main tendue à tous ses anciens camarades du parti. Et voilà que ce décès du chairman, qui nous attriste tous, est aussi une occasion pour nous de se souder.
Okay, we're going to be going back to Yaoundé to take another listen to the first report by Bo Elvis, who is coming back to one of the last appearances of the chairman of the Social Democratic Front, Nijon Frundi.
Chairman of the Social Democratic Front, Nijon Frundi, will be remembered as someone who played a great role in Cameroon's democracy. He narrowly missed the 1992 presidential election and has always rejected the option of walking on blood to access political power.
Now, anybody who has lost a close friend, a close family member, has a heavy heart. And when we started with the social democratic options for democracy and freedom to the Cameroonian people in 1990. In 1992, you had the press freedoms, and I think that between the journalists and the SDF, we fought for democracy in Cameroon from then up till today. But now where we are, that people are being abducted and assassinated, I want to believe that they assassinated them because they are doing their job, and maybe they might have made a statement that touched somebody somewhere, somehow. Sitting here in your studio, I'm really, really worried about our country, worried about the world.
Although he leaves behind a divided party, Nijon Frundi did not see things this way. During a long chat with this reporter a few months back, the chairman said he never had preference for anyone at the helm of the SDF and has been concerned about the well-being of Cameroonians.
When the SDF started, we fought for democracy, we fought for the freedom of speech, we fought for so many things in our country. We fought for the rights of teachers. So you journalists should now take up your stance and fight for your own core of work, and the other people should stand for their own. Maybe teachers, trade unions, and the other unions should be able to stand as a body to fight for the truth in our country. Today you're able to talk. I think that some of the things you say in this radio station, you could not say them before 1990. But today you're able to say them. I believe that we should have responsible journalism and for people to fight for their rights.
To Nijon Frundi, the SDF remained committed to its initial ideals and did not at any point adhere to the ideals of the ruling party, as many people insinuated.
Okay, thank you, Bo Elvis, once again for that beautiful report. We are going out there to Kumba, Chieftain of Meme Division, to catch up with Mr. Suleiman, who is also a strong militant of the Social Democratic Front, whom I'm told is on standby. Good evening, Suleiman. We're glad to have you.
Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Fine.
Yes, tell us how Kumba received the news of the passing of the national chairman, Nijon Frundi.
Yeah, it was, we just got on this one. It was shocking. It was shocking, and I'm very disappointed. We hear that the national chairman of the SDF died last night in Yaoundé. It took so many people aback, and people were so sorrowful. There was a melancholy. The people were very sorrowful. People were totally good about him. So as a chairman, his death took people by shock, with shock. But at least death is dead. We have to accept it.
What is the feeling that this passing leaves you with? What away from what people are saying and what people think, what do you think about the man Nijon Frundi?
Well, Nijon Frundi is a man of proven integrity, transparent honesty, and sound moral character. Frundi, if we go back to 26 May 1990, when the SDF was created at Tareko in Bamenda, Northwest region, I mean, it paved the way for democracy. It paved the way for political multipartyism, pluralism. You see, when Governor Ted brought his for Soika and Grassroots, so the SDF now capitalized on that and spread democracy in Cameroon. Frundi is the father of multipartyism in Cameroon, father of pluralism in Cameroon. And Frundi has made people to now all the freedom we are having, all the liberty we are having, it's because of Frundi. So I mean, the man Frundi has done a wonderful job for this Cameroon. And if they want to know the history of Cameroon, his name will be written in gold for bringing democracy in Cameroon, for bringing multiparty in Cameroon.
Mr. Suleiman, tell me how the SDF is going to ride on without the chairman, Nijon Frundi. after his passing. I'm talking about the SDF in Kumba, Meme division. Remember that you were the ones running Kumba. You lost elections to the CPDM during the recent elections. Is the SDF going to come out stronger after the demise? Are you going to learn some lessons and tell yourself that your father is no longer there, and you have to prove, you have to make him proud by working extra harder?
Yeah, I think in Kumba, you know, we were in factions and divisions before the reorganization of the district. But now we have succeeded in uniting the party. We want the party to be united, we want the party to be solidified. We have to demonstrate solidarity among ourselves because we want to take over Kumbatu from the council. So now I think the SDF in Kumbatu is united, it's not in faction, it's not in division. I mean, we're highly solidified. So now we want, with the death of Fundi now, it will not affect the party directly, and it will not affect the party. All we'll do is that we have to console people, make people that we are still one, indivisible, indissoluble agent. Huh? So we are still one and strong. You see, but the death of Fundi, we are going to maintain a stubborn reflection, but at the same time, the party still remains, because the party is a national party. So we must come together as a united family and still protect the legacy of Fundi in the SDF Kumbatu.
As the party officials in Kumba, Meme division, called for any meeting, is there any official statement? Are you guys preparing to meet to discuss on what has happened to your national chairman?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. We are preparing for that one. Even this morning, so many people have met me here, both men and girls, women, and maybe we'll meet on Saturday at the district meeting and prepare our own letter of condolence and how we prepare to go to Bamenda for the burial.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Suleiman. If there is any other information coming in from Kumba, please do well to call us, and so that we can give you opportunity to express them, especially from other members of your political party, the Social Democratic Front. We want to say the militants of Meme, we also are joining them in mourning the national president. You guys should accept our condolences.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay. Monsieur Mathurin, we are staying with you out here in the studio. Is there a planned meeting by the NEC or the Shadow Cabinet already, or they are still in Yaoundé trying to understand what they have to do, and then later on to communicate to the population?
For the moment they are in Yaoundé. They are having a meeting to discuss and to see which direction we will go. So now we are just trying to stand on our feet, because it's a very difficult moment that we are crossing on now. Donc, comme je vous l'ai dit en français, puisque je m'exprime en français. Donc, c'est pour nous un moment douloureux. Actuellement, l'organe suprême du parti, le NEC, est en train de réfléchir, bon, pas le NEC en tant que structure, c'est-à-dire certains dirigeants, ils sont à Yaoundé, se sont déplacés le plus rapidement possible lorsque la nouvelle est tombée. La secrétaire générale du parti, Maître Adeline Djomgan, est quittée de Douala très tôt ce matin pour rejoindre le vice-président qui lui était déjà à Yaoundé. Donc nous sommes en discussion actuellement dans les différents forats du parti. Donc le débat tourne actuellement sur la nécessité de tenir le congrès à date ou alors de le repousser. Donc je pense que soit il faudra convoquer un NEC extraordinaire, n'est-ce pas, pour pouvoir pour pouvoir réfléchir et prendre une décision sur la question. Donc, c'est à ce niveau que nous sommes. Donc, nous ne sommes pas encore assurés de ce qui se présentera à nous dans les prochains jours. Donc, il s'agit tout simplement pour nous d'abord de vivre douloureusement, de vivre ce moment difficile. Et ensuite, on pourra relever la tête et de regarder l'avenir et de voir comment assumer le lourd héritage que...
Rien ne s'est dit. Vous attendiez que la réunion finisse à Yaoundé et puis vous allez aussi vous réunir ici à Douala?
Au niveau du littoral, les militants sont en train de se rassembler déjà dans les différents sièges du parti.
Okay.
Oui, je suis venu ici, j'aurais normalement pris la direction, si je n'avais pas été invité par vous, j'aurais pris la direction du siège du parti ici à l'arrondissement de la 5e, c'est-à-dire à Bépanda, où tous les militants actuellement sont en train de converger. Donc c'est pour nous une occasion déjà de commencer à rendre un tribut à ce camarade qui était le chairman de John Fundi. Donc nos camarades sont en train de se regrouper dans les différents sièges de l'arrondissement, des arrondissements de Douala pour rendre un tribut au chairman. Et vous comprenez que c'est spontanément que cela se passe, ça n'avait été prévu nulle part. Donc la nouvelle est tombée dans la nuit. Et spontanément, les militants se regroupent pour pouvoir réfléchir et voir de quelle manière est-ce qu'ils peuvent rendre au chairman, n'est-ce pas, cet hommage et préparer déjà le revoir que les populations, parce qu'il faut le dire clairement, je pense qu'il faut le dire, on ne le dira jamais assez, le chairman n'appartient plus au SDF, le chairman appartient à l'histoire du Cameroun. Le chairman appartient au Cameroun, le chairman appartient au peuple camerounais. Voilà pourquoi je pense que le gouvernement saura saisir aussi ce moment, comprendre la dimension de ce moment et comprendre la dimension du personnage qui est parti et de lui rendre véritablement des hommages dignes de sa personne en déclarant forcément des obsèques officielles. Je pense qu'au vu de ce que le chairman a donné à ce pays, au vu du sacrifice, n'est-ce pas, qui a été payé par sa personne et par ses militants, les militants de son parti, le Cameroun devrait lui donner des obsèques officielles. Et je pense que nous sommes tous les enfants de ce pays. Lorsque quelqu'un donne autant à une nation, lorsque quelqu'un donne autant à un pays, par un engagement, que ce soit au niveau du sport, que ce soit au niveau de la musique, que ce soit au niveau de la culture, que ce soit au niveau de la politique, nous devons lui rendre les hommages qu'il mérite. Voilà pourquoi les Camerounais doivent se préparer à rendre dans leur ensemble un hommage particulier à ce personnage. Ceux qui ont eu l'opportunité de le côtoyer, ceux qui ont eu l'opportunité de travailler avec lui, de vivre avec lui, reconnaissent en lui véritablement un leader charismatique, reconnaissent en lui un homme plein de courage, reconnaissent en lui un homme déterminé, qui avait un amour particulier pour le pays, qui avait un amour particulier pour la nation. Vous savez que c'est le premier leader politique à avoir compris qu'il fallait s'exprimer aux Camerounais en une langue que les Camerounais, dans leur grande majorité, partagent, le pidgin. C'est le tout premier leader politique au Cameroun à avoir utilisé le pidgin pour s'exprimer aux Camerounais. C'est parce qu'il avait compris que, à travers ce langage-là, il parlait à tous les Camerounais au plus profond de toutes les régions de ce pays. Donc, voilà pourquoi on doit lui rendre cet hommage-là et afin que, véritablement, la terre de nos ancêtres lui soit légère et que son repos soit véritablement paisible.
Okay, I'll read this one from Edith Kawala, the leader of the CPP party. He says, it is with great sadness that I am learning of the passing of Chairman John Fundi. For decades, he championed the fight for freedom and democracy in Cameroon. He was a mentor and teacher. I will never forget what I learned from him about grassroots politics. We will continue to fight for power to return to the Cameroonian people. Rest in peace, Chair. That is Edith Kawala. Also writing about the demise of the fallen Baobab in Cameroon's politics. But she says that I have learned something from you. I will never forget what I learned from him about grassroots politics. Tying with what he said, Mr. Maturens talked about, he is the one who brought this notion of talking to the people in Pidgin. Is that also what made him different? Because when you look at other politicians, they have this look of an elitist politician, but this is somebody who went down there.
Very few people know or keep hold of the fact that Frundi is, was a scholar. Yeah, he was. And he even went as far as promoting a bookshop in Bamenda. But what people hold of him is that he's that person who only spoke Pidgin, or you know, address people in his messages in Pidgin English. But that makes him very, very particular, and he made him equally different from other people because he used it as a certain means of trying to pass the message across. And then in Cameroon, not only Cameroonians from the northwest and southwest region speak or understand Pidgin English. We talk about the littoral, which is one of the bases where politics is high geared. Here in the littoral, especially the Mungo, you see, Pidgin English is very, very much understood and spoken there, which means the particularity or something that made Frundi become more popular even during the creation and even after the creation. During his 33 years at the helm of the party, is that communication, that language he used to communicate to people. And after him, Leo, many other politicians started getting into that aspect of communicating with the population. I quite remember Maurice Kamto during the last campaign in the Mungo. He addressed the population who gathered. After talking to them in French, he addressed them in Pidgin English and avoided speaking English. He speaks too well too. So you understand that Frundi's mark, which can remain indelible, would definitely be that the use of the Pidgin English to be able to talk to people. And I want to say that that aspect of him has equally gone far to imposing Pidgin English or Pidgin language to the community as a whole, because before then people used to think that Pidgin is only reserved to those who are whose place is not recognized in the society. But that was a good one, and I think people will remember him for doing that.
Okay, let us take a reaction. Two reactions are from Tiko subdivision, one from the former mayor of Tiko Council, Daniel Mukundu Ngande, who is also a traditional ruler, but also the district chair for the Tiko district of the Social Democratic Front. I'm told that it is not yet ready. I don't know whether Chi Dieudonné in Yaoundé is on standby so that we can take a pulse from what are the militants of the Social Democratic Front are living out there in the nation's capital where Frundi died. She is not there. Okay, just we are talking about the grassroots nature of Frundi. It was just common to see him around the Bayam Selams, the motorbike riders. He easily identified and encouraged them. I don't know, ignited that love from this side of our communities.
Some of them who knew little about politics now, when they saw Frundi coming towards them in motor parks, in markets, and he never went towards those who could be identified as the big shots. He went towards those who were the Bayam Salams, as we said, the Sovieters. He went towards those who could easily, he gave them the impression that they too are very important in the society. Yeah? He gave them the comfort they needed, and that's how he gained their support, and that's how he successfully passed his message across, and that's how he became became the popular John Frundi that people now hold. And not only the grassroots, the level of grassroots politics, I want to believe that Frundi touched all the nooks and crannies of this country. He went, even when he went to the north, and the Grand North out there, he addressed them in Pidgin English. He preferred talking to them in Pidgin English before somebody might translate in Fulfulde or even Hausa language. I mean, there is nowhere in between 92 and 2010, nowhere in Cameroon, no region in Cameroon that Frundi did not step. So, and then many politicians, as you call them, of a certain class, of a certain high class, did not, don't even know their country. But Frundi went everywhere.
Il nous le disait toujours, il a fait 20 fois le tour du Cameroun.
Voilà.
20 fois le tour du Cameroun. Il n'y a pas un seul village au Cameroun où le chairman n'a pas posé ses pieds. Et quand il faisait une campagne électorale, c'était véritablement une campagne électorale. Il ne s'agissait pas d'aller peut-être dans les 10 régions, mais véritablement de faire le tour du pays. Voilà pourquoi, en tant que leader politique, lorsqu'il a compris qu'il n'avait plus suffisamment d'énergie pour faire le tour du Cameroun, pour parler aux Camerounais, pour rencontrer les Camerounais, pour les toucher du doigt, et pour toucher du doigt leur réalité, il a préféré donc dire qu'il ne sera plus le candidat du parti et qu'il fallait que quelqu'un avec beaucoup plus d'énergie, avec beaucoup plus de force pour le faire. Voilà pourquoi en 2018, lors des élections présidentielles, le chairman n'a pas été candidat. Parce qu'il savait qu'il n'avait pas l'énergie pour pouvoir faire le tour du Cameroun, comme il avait toujours voulu le faire, pour pouvoir parler aux Camerounais et toucher du doigt les réalités des Camerounais. Donc, ce sont ces images-là qui restent dans nos mémoires. Pour nous qui l'avons connu, qui avons discuté quelque peu avec lui, lorsque vous rencontriez John Frundi, ne serait-ce que pour 5 minutes, il était toujours... Vous ne pouviez pas passer 5 minutes avec lui sans qu'il ne vous rappelle qu'en 1992, ce pays avait frôlé le gouffre. Qu'en 1992, s'il avait voulu marcher sur le sang des Camerounais pour arriver au pouvoir, la porte lui était ouverte. Mais il avait pris l'engagement de comprendre et de faire savoir que la vie des Camerounais était plus importante pour lui que le pouvoir.
Okay.
Donc, vous ne pouviez pas, pour ceux qui l'ont connu, passer 5 minutes avec le chairman sans qu'il nous rappelle cela et qu'il ne vous rappelle qu'il a fait, comme je vous l'ai dit, autant de fois le tour du Cameroun pour vivre avec les Camerounais.
Good morning, Mr. Liu. Enjoying the program. Is that his deceased is really a bitter blow to the Anglophone and Cameroon in general. We are going to miss his democratic ways and his leadership, but he had left behind a good number of democratic followers who would in turn lead us till the end of the race. In fact, he has put a landmark in the history of Cameroon. Rest in peace. Okay, rest in peace. We can say Chez Merlin, writing from Yaoundé. Okay. Good morning, sir. We are glad to have you with us this morning. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Allô, bonjour.
Bonjour, honorable.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Oui, on commence d'abord par vous présenter nos condoléances et vous demander ce que vous vivez dans le Mungo depuis l'annonce de la disparition du président national du SDF, ni John Frundi.
Oui, je voudrais déjà vous remercier de cette préoccupation-là. Je suis en ce moment à Yaoundé et nous sommes en pleine session du mois de juin. Et nous avons eu la nouvelle hier soir du décès de notre président que nous sommes en train de prendre toutes les dispositions également pour que sa mémoire se repose en paix.
Et puisque, ok, vous êtes à Yaoundé, mais déjà vous avez parlé avec la base qui est je sais pas, au Mungo. Qu'est-ce qu'ils vous disent?
Oui, la base, ainsi que moi-même, l'ensemble des militants, nous sommes tristes, nous sommes très attristés par cet événement. Nous n'avions rien d'autre à faire pour l'instant que de s'organiser pour apporter du réconfort à la famille biologique de notre président et ensuite développer une stratégie pour que les obsèques se passent dans les bonnes conditions.
Ok, nos condoléances et puis on vous laisse travailler puisque vous êtes en pleine session de juin là-bas à Yaoundé. On n'était pas au courant.
Oui, la session de juin, nous sommes à la deuxième session de l'année législative 2023.
Ok, merci beaucoup, honorable. Et puis on vous reviendra.
Moi qui vous remercie.
Okay, that was Honorable for Mungo, member of our Parliament Social Democratic Front. We thought he was in the Mungo division. We did not know that he was in Yaoundé, and we are going to continue with our discussions of the demise of the emblematic, enigmatic chairman of the Social Democratic Front, John Frunzi. But let's move on to Tiko subdivision, where we're going to be catching up with the former mayor for the Tiko Council, as well as the district chair for the Social Democratic Front.
Thank you very much, Tamoki. It is a heartbreaking and devastating news that we got this morning that our national chairman died. In fact, it is so sad, but nevertheless we have to accept it because it comes from God. We have nothing to change. We only have to pray for his soul to rest in total peace. And as a matter of fact, I've had the opportunity to pay a series of private visits to him when he was alive. That man was right down to earth. And I think he started a race which he has already prepared the route to hand the baton. And I think he did that before he left this planet Earth. For the party, we have to mourn him. In fact, his name has gone into the history of Cameroon, not only in Cameroon alone, the entire world. So we express our deep felt condolences to the bereaved family and the entire SDF family, particularly on behalf of Tiko Electoral District.
The demise of Fundi, will it affect the party in one way or the other?
Yeah, not really, but because he already paved the way to hand the baton to the next person. So I think we only have to mourn him, but it will not affect the party as per se.
Message to militants of the SDF in Tiko subdivision as they mourn their chair.
Yes, we have to, as a matter of fact, our first national vice chairman has already written, and we are waiting for the program until when it will come out. We are ready to converge ourselves to any place that the ceremony and the celebration will take place. I mean, Tiko will mark its presence anywhere that this death celebration or the life of our national chairman will be celebrated.
Thank you so very much for talking to my Media Point Television.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Though we're in politics, he knew who could manage something better. You see, Chairman Fundi was a very, very, very charismatic leader. He was a man who, when he passes here, everybody feels the impact. He was a great leader. His demise leaves a very, very big void, not just to the SDF family, but Cameroonians as a whole. But we pray that the good Lord will see in his own way how this void will be refilled. Chairman, may your soul rest in peace.
Thank you. So what do you make of Nijon Fundi?
Personally, I came in contact with this man after the presidential elections that the SDF won. We held a meeting in late Dr. Luma's house in Tiko. We were all present and he came in. And people hailed him that this is the president of the Republic. And he said something that day. So you say I am president? Yes. But others have refused that I should not be president. You see, a very humble person. A very humble person. And this is somebody, he knew how to harness all the fine human resource that was available. He knew how to harness all the fine human resource that was around him. The SDF regret his demise today, but like I said, we pray the good God will refill that void not too long from now. My only worry and regret was that he did not stay alive to hand over to the next national chairperson of the party during the upcoming convention, which is just next month. Next month, as he had promised that he would not run for elections again. At least we could have seen how a hero bows out from a political party, not in this manner. All the preparations towards his send-off, I mean, you can imagine what Cameroonians had planned for him. But God knows best. The good thing is that he died in the hands of people whom he had been fighting for. I mean, he did not die out of the country.
We are going to be moving over to Buda to get to Mr. Kazi Tatsasi Salomon, the president of the electoral district of the SDF from Buda, who is online. Bonjour, Monsieur Kazi.
Oui.
Oui.
Bonjour, Monsieur Léonard.
Oui, bonjour. Vous êtes le président de la circonscription électorale SDF de Mbouda.
Oui.
Oui. Comment avez-vous accueilli la nouvelle du départ du leader emblématique du SDF?
Nous avons reçu cette triste nouvelle comme un coup de tonnerre. Tout Bouddha, tout Bamboutos est en deuil, pour ne pas dire tout le Cameroun en deuil. Nous venons de perdre une grande icône pour l'histoire politique du Cameroun. Et pour le moment, nous sommes tellement pauvres et mots, car nos yeux sont pleins de larmes. Mais la seule chose avec laquelle nous nous réconfortons, on se console, c'est les enseignements que ce grand homme nous a légués. Nous avons la liberté d'expression aujourd'hui grâce au chairman Nijon Fundi. Nous avons la démocratie qui est même biaisée au Cameroun grâce toujours au combat de Nijon Fundi. Pour le moment, nous prions et nous prions pour que Dieu le Tout-Puissant le reçoive dans son royaume. Nous pensons qu'il a même déjà une place de choix auprès du Tout-Puissant.
Oui, Monsieur Kazi, vous êtes le président de la circonscription électorale du SDF de Mbouda. Déjà, les militants, est-ce que vous avez déjà appelé à une réunion où vous attendiez les directives du parti à partir soit de Yaoundé ou de Douala?
Non, plutôt nous sommes en train, déjà le secrétariat se prépare déjà à un communiqué qu'on va sortir tout à l'heure pour une réunion de bureau pour déjà penser à ce que nous allons faire à Bouddha en attendant le programme officiel national.
Le Bouddha est aussi très symbolique parce que si je ne me trompe pas, c'est à Bouddha où on a eu la réunion du fameux G27. Est-ce que le Bouddha est affaibli ou plutôt remonté après le départ du chairman?
Nous, à Bouddha, nous sommes restés sereins car nous suivons la direction du parti qui était couronné par le chairman. Et le chairman nous a toujours montré le chemin à suivre si à jamais il n'est plus là. Nous restons fidèles à la hiérarchie de notre parti. Ce groupe dont vous dites que ça a été créé à Bouddha, je peux vous rassurer qu'ils ont été déjà délogés, ils n'existent plus à Bouddha. Bouddha est fidèle au SDF. Vous avez déjà déménagé de Bouddha. Nous ne savons plus où il se trouve maintenant.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Kazi, pour votre temps et nos condoléances à la famille SDF de Bouddha.
Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Leonard.
Okay, thank you. We're going to continue with our discussions out here in our studios in Douala as we talk about the life of Nijon Frundi, the fallen hero of the Social Democratic Front at the Northwest region and Cameroon in general. Where would you class Frundi when we talk of political leaders in Cameroon?
Frundi remains not only the charismatic leader of the SDF, he remains the #1 opposition leader in this country because going through the past and even the present, people should not agitate. Frundi remains the baobab tree.
He remains, how? I'm not sure everybody will buy that. What makes you think that he remains the #1 opposition leader in Cameroon?
History will hold that he stood firm. He brought the democracy that people are talking about. He gave people the courage to be able to stand and challenge, to stand and speak out. And then talking about politics, all other political party leaders, all other political from memory of the reporter I am, Frundi always brought order or always encouraged other political party leaders to be able to come together and bring up one platform and speak on behalf of the people. It's true that things never ended the way he would have loved them to end, but Frundi remains a household name, and other names, other political leaders' names might only come after Frundi.
Okay. Vous avez aussi cette impression? Où est-ce que vous classez votre chairman?
Bon, il faut dire que véritablement, il faut être honnête avec soi-même. D'ici les 30 dernières années, il est difficile pour un quelconque historien d'écrire l'histoire de ce pays sans accorder des pages importantes à Nijon Frundi. Je pense que tout historien honnête, tout journaliste honnête, tout leader d'opinion honnête dirait la même chose. Vous ne pouvez pas écrire l'histoire des 30 années de ce pays, je dis les 33 années de ce pays, sans accorder une place importante à M. Frundi, au camarade Nijon Frundi, au chairman. Donc, ça va donc de soi. ce n'est pas le militant que je suis, le cadre politique que je suis qui parle. C'est tout simplement aussi un observateur averti de la scène politique au Cameroun qui parle. Donc, le chairman s'est imposé par son acte, par son courage, par sa bravoure, par sa témérité, comme étant un personnage important de l'histoire de ce pays. Donc, quand on va citer demain les personnages comme Omniobe, comme Wandje, comme Moumié, on devra trouver la place aussi au chairman de John Frondi. Et ça, je pense qu'au moins, on ne peut pas lui contester cela. Donc, voilà pourquoi nous pensons que le peuple camerounais a aujourd'hui l'obligation, le devoir de lui rendre ce dernier hommage, n'est-ce pas, lorsqu'il sera porté vers la terre de nos ancêtres et de lui rendre un très grand hommage. Je sais que les Camerounais sauront reconnaître les mérites du chairman, sauront reconnaître son parcours, sauront saluer ce qu'il aura donné au Cameroun. Vous savez, dans les années 1990, certains ont marché dans ce pays contre le multipartisme. Nous dit que nous ne sommes pas mûrs, nous ne sommes pas matures, ainsi de suite. Au Cameroun, c'est une malédiction, ainsi de suite. Et il y a des leaders politiques en cette époque. Je vais citer quelques noms. Henriette Ekoué, Ekane Anisser, Maître Yondo Black et bien d'autres qui ont organisé un petit groupe pour réfléchir sur l'avenir de ce pays. Et ils ont été arrêtés. Ils ont été arrêtés, jugés, condamnés, embastillés. Et le gouvernement refusait de reconnaître que la raison pour laquelle ils avaient été arrêtés, c'est parce qu'ils voulaient créer un parti politique. Ils ont dit que ce n'est pas pour cette raison qu'ils ont été arrêtés. Alors, en même temps, il y avait un autre groupe d'études au nord-ouest qui travaillait, qui était dirigé, qui travaillait, dont l'un des dirigeants était le chairman John Frondi. Il a dit, OK, si vous dites donc qu'ils n'ont pas été arrêtés parce qu'ils voulaient créer un parti politique, alors nous allons en lancer un le 26 mai 1990. Voilà ce qu'ils ont dit. Puisque vous dites que ce n'est pas parce qu'ils voulaient créer un parti politique, nous allons donc lancer un parti politique le 26 mai. Et c'est ainsi donc que le 26 mai, le chairman, en compagnie d'autres leaders politiques de l'époque, a donc décidé, malgré le fait que la ville était militarisée, la ville était occupée par les forces de l'ordre de toutes parts, et que le gouverneur même de la région avait interdit cette manifestation. Le chairman a pris son courage avec ses compagnons, il a lancé la marche. C'est ainsi que le Cameroun est entré dans l'ère du multipartisme par la force, c'est-à-dire par le courage et par la ténacité du chairman John Frondi et de ses compagnons.
I wanted to get Marie-Rosine tell us how things look like at the nation's capital.
Il a combattu la mort, mais la mort a eu raison de lui. L'opposant historique au président Paul Biya qui a marqué les années de braise, notamment les années 90, le leader du Social Democratic Front, le chairman John Frondi, est décédé ce 11 juin 2023 à 23h30 à Yaoundé dans son domicile à l'âge de 81 ans. Alors même que le congrès de son parti est prévu les 28, 29 et 30 juillet 2023, où il devait acter son retrait définitif de la famille politique. Ici avec moi, l'un des communicateurs principaux du parti qui va nous raconter les circonstances atténuantes. Bonjour.
Bonjour Camerounais. C'est avec une tristesse que nous nous adressons à la nation camerounaise aujourd'hui pour annoncer la disparition de notre baobab, de notre icône, de notre mentor politique, le chairman John Frondi, qui est passé de vie à trépas hier à 23h30. Nous sommes tristes et dans une désolation complète et ça nous met dans un état d'émoi. Alors, le chairman a combattu le bon combat pendant 33 ans et aujourd'hui le Seigneur a décidé qu'il soit auprès de lui. Nous estimons que le Seigneur l'aime plus que nous et que sa place est mieux là-bas qu'ici auprès de nous. À 82 ans, c'était déjà un très grand combattant et à 82 ans, étant encore actif sur la scène politique, c'était beaucoup. Le chairman a œuvré pour la démocratie et la liberté au Cameroun depuis les années 90 et aujourd'hui nous avons le résultat qui est ce que nous vivons au quotidien et que les Camerounais peuvent librement s'exprimer de part et d'autre n'importe où. Il a aussi encouragé le multipartisme et qui aujourd'hui permet à ce qu'il y ait une expression à travers les différents partis politiques où nous nous retrouvons à plus de 200, 300 partis politiques. Autre chose qu'il a apporté, c'était son amour envers les uns et les autres parce que le chairman était comme un père pour nous tous. Nous autres qui avons eu le privilège d'être ses proches collaborateurs, nous avons connu cet amour paternel et cette chaleur paternelle venant du chairman John Fundi et vraiment c'est une perte énorme pour nous. Nous sommes vraiment affaiblis et nous pensons que il va falloir beaucoup du temps pour pouvoir combler ce vide au sein du Social Democratic Front et dans la politique camerounaise.
Alors, est-ce qu'il était malade?
Justement, le chairman était malade depuis un bon bout de temps et c'est suite à beaucoup d'interventions ici et à l'extérieur qu'il n'a pas pu tenir et que la mort a eu raison sur lui. Le retrait définitif a été annoncé le 11 février 2021 dans cette même cour où il a convié la presse pour lui dire qu'il ne devait plus être candidat à aucun poste, que ce soit électif ou en interne du parti. Là, c'était déjà une très grande marque de démocratie qu'il l'exprimait. On attendait juste que le Congrès puisse arriver pour qu'il puisse acter. Malheureusement, le temps ne nous a pas permis parce que le Congrès est prévu pour du 28 au 29 juillet 2022. Voilà qu'au mois de juin, il décède. Donc, mais l'essentiel, c'est qu'il l'avait déjà annoncé et que vous, les membres de la presse et les Camerounais étaient témoins. Aujourd'hui, nous avons l'obligation de pouvoir continuer à sauvegarder l'héritage qu'il a laissé. Bien évidemment, il y aura un manque parce que déjà même en tant que membre du comité d'organisation du Congrès, on tenait des réunions avec lui et la majorité des réunions, on était obligé de se soumettre à lui parce qu'il y avait des stratégies et beaucoup d'autres choses qu'il donnait par rapport à son expérience qu'il a sur le terrain et l'expérience d'avoir participé à 10 congrès, donc c'est à 9 congrès, donc ça permettait à ce que nous on ait un certain nombre d'éléments qui nous échappaient. Mais je crois que, comme je l'ai dit, c'est un très grand vide et combler ce vide serait très difficile pour nous.
Ici avec moi, la veuve de l'honorable Bandam, membre de la famille politique, qui est venue, n'est-ce pas, dans le domicile du chairman pour apporter le soutien à la famille.
Oui, je suis là ce matin pour pleurer un papa, un bon père, vu que c'est un monsieur vraiment qui a donné toute sa vie pour la démocratie du Cameroun. Et il a presque tout perdu parce que lorsque vous voyez aujourd'hui, il a perdu son épouse. Et si moi je suis là aujourd'hui, c'est parce que je suis reconnaissant. Va dire quelque chose.
There is nothing I can say. The pain is too much.
Elle n'a rien à dire.
Daddy has given us a lot of pain. A lot of pain. We depend on him. We depend on him. But I don't know. I don't know.
Mais elle ne sait pas. Elle ne sait pas ce qu'elle peut dire pour le moment. Elle ne peut pas dire quelque chose.
The pain is too much. That is all I can say. He has kept us on the bridge that we cannot cross.
Comme vous pouvez le constater au sein de la famille, la tristesse est énorme. Personne ne peut arriver en ces lieux et ne pas écraser une larme. Le chairman John Fundi, dans ses derniers moments, était le papa de tout le monde, les amis de la presse. Il savait donner de la joie, il savait faire rigoler quand il le fallait. les sœurs, les fils, les tantes, les cousins et cousines, personne n'a le courage de dire quelque chose. Le chairman John Froundi a joué un rôle très important concernant la crise dans le Nozo, nous rappelant que lui-même avait été enlevé par les Ambazoniens. Et quand il est ressorti, il a appelé tout son peuple à s'unir pour la paix au Cameroun. Et il a toujours milité pour la paix. Voilà la fin. Voilà la triste histoire. Depuis la résidence du chairman John Froundi en Kulfulu, une banlieue de Soie, Marie-Rosine Gadouga et Serge Biwele pour My Media Prime Television.
Thank you very much, Marie-Rosine, for that wonderful job out there in Yaoundé at the residence of John Froundi. In Yaoundé, the nation's capital. Il a travaillé pour la paix, même quand ça a été très difficile. Il n'a pas été radical. Est-ce que vous allez, oui, c'est aussi ce que vous devez assumer, hein?
Oui, ça c'est un côté de l'homme qu'il faut aussi souligner. Froundi, c'était un homme de paix. Et je vous le disais tantôt, dès que vous vous approchiez du chairman, quelques minutes, il évoquait toujours ce côté de sa personnalité, l'amour pour la paix, son amour pour la construction d'un pays stable. Voilà pourquoi lorsque la crise anglophone est survenue et qu'il a été à plusieurs reprises kidnappé par les sécessionnistes, il s'est accroché à la paix, il s'est accroché à la nécessité de construire un pays uni, un pays où tous les fils, n'est-ce pas, pouvaient travailler ensemble, que ce soit du nord au sud, de l'est à l'ouest, pour édifier une grande nation, pour édifier ce grand pays que nous tous voulons construire. Donc, voilà pourquoi il s'est radicalement attaché à défendre l'unité de ce pays. Alors que certains, ceux qui l'avaient kidnappé, avaient exigé qu'il demande aux sénateurs du SDF au Parlement et aux députés du SDF à l'Assemblée nationale de quitter l'Assemblée nationale. Il avait courageusement dit à ces sionistes qui ne pouvaient pas le faire. Parce qu'ils pensent que c'est même en étant là-bas que cela doit porter les revendications pour une amélioration des conditions de vie des populations, où qu'ils soient, que ce soit au nord-ouest, que ce soit au sud-ouest, que ce soit dans d'autres régions du pays. Donc ça montrait son engagement et son attachement à la paix et au développement de ce pays. Et je vais vous raconter une anecdote que le chairman avait souvent à nous raconter. Lorsqu'il a été kidnappé par les Ambazoniens et que les Ambazoniens exigeaient qu'il demande à tous les sénateurs du SDF de quitter le Sénat, à tous les députés de faire de même, il leur a dit « Do you see my face ?» Les Ambazoniens le regardaient, il dit « Do you see my face ?» Les Ambazoniens ne comprenaient pas la question qu'il était en train de vouloir leur poser. Il leur a dit que your face start from here and end here. Une façon de leur dire que, et il leur a dit que my face start from here and end here, so you cannot see my face. Ça veut dire que ce que les Ambazoniens, là, ils pensent qu'ils ont raison, parce que eux, leur visage commence ici et ça s'arrête ici. Ils ne peuvent pas voir plus loin comme le chairman voit. Il était en train de leur dire que lui, il a une vision de ce pays qui est plus profonde, qui est plus lointaine que ce que... Voilà.
Touched by the death of our Baba, Tree, our peace and maker, our hero and our everything. May his soul rest in peace. And I pray that God pardons all his sins. Okay. Melissa is writing from Yaoundé. Good evening to you, Melissa. and all of you watching this program. I'm told Paddy Asanga is online. Paddy, if you are online, we are glad to have you join us this moment. Hello, Paddy Asanga. Seemingly, Paddy is not yet there. Hello, Paddy Asanga. Okay, Paddy is yet to get connected. Maybe it may be connected, but the technicians are still working on getting a smooth communication. The man Frundi, he worked so hard to ensure that there is peace in Cameroon, but he reflected more of a national character and fared for everybody. When there was a problem in the far north region, he took it as his problem. He also fought for whatever that touched Cameroon.
The most recent, Leo, is the kidnap, torture, and killing of Martinez Zogo. We quite remember, you just saw it in the report signed by Bo Elvis as he went to the. You saw in the images, you can see John Fundi weeping. He wept, and he took each and everyone's problem as his personal problem. He never failed to go and stand by whosoever, be it the widow, be it the victims of every sort of happiness in our country. So Fundi was not only the political hero, but he was like the father, or he was like a brother to every Cameroonian. He went to the far north. He stood against Boko Haram. He stood against the Nozo, the crisis in the northwest and southwest. He even went as far as the east region to be able to condemn, or he joined in the fight or in the cry of the guys of the east region who were complaining about lack of roads and then the haphazard transportation of the timber out there to another country, and just to come back and be sold to Cameroonians, whereas they benefit nothing from the timber exploitation. They quite remember. He went everywhere. Frundi, they said they called him from his sister station. He was answering from his farmland in Menchum Division there. He was there with everybody, and those he chose to work with him are not people from neither Bafuchu or Baba, but they were sons and daughters of the division. So to him, this notion of living together has always been. It's not a matter of today. It has always been. Has been living with it, and then you get to Fundi's Ntarikon residence, or like that of Nkolfulu in Soa Yaoundé. You will not see the only thing people. The common language you speak there is Pidgin. If not Pidgin, it's English or French. No vernacular. So it was difficult to be able to say Frundi came from this particular tribe or this other particular tribe. He had no notion of that one. He kept Cameroonians as one. That's the little I can remember. Remember about the emblematic, charismatic John Frundi, Leo.
Okay, I want us to also talk about the way he treated the press. I know of political leaders today that to talk to them, they'll tell you, call my secretary, call some other person, call this, and then it will take 1 month for the journalists to have access to the president, national president. But I remember I've had, I think, 4 or 5 interviews with Frundi. I'll call him when I was working in Boya. I'll call him even here, and he tells me, okay, Mr. Kum, I'm waiting for you tomorrow. And himself, you pass through no other person. You call him and he tells you he's waiting for you, and then you leave, you reach Bomenda. Frundi is the one who receives you. As you guys are preparing for the interview, tells that the mothers in the kitchen prepare something. Prepare something, and then after the interview, you guys sit, you eat. I remember last time he prepared five packs of meat. That when you go back to Boya, hand this to madam, hand this to your boss. That's how food is.
Yes.
But today, politicians of today, I tell you, to get to their president, it takes 3 months. You will not even have access to them. It's as if you are going to the end.
That is my worry. That's my worry even with the SDF, because the question is that good habit going to continue? Because I quite remember I called Frundi from Douala here at the peak of a certain problem with the now ex-member of the party called Jean-Michel Ninche. When I wanted to go deep into the roots of the issue, Frundi told me, I'm waiting for you in Bamida tomorrow morning, my son. We were talking like that, we were exchanging on phone on Saturday. I got to Tariq on early Sunday morning. He treated me the same as you just narrated. And after that, he called Joshua Ossi, he called Taurumbaya, who were there with him, and he told them, this is Masatoto, he has to go back to Douala. Make sure he goes back to Douala. But first of all, I'm taking him to the village because you remember and by then he was putting on his uniform because he's a CMF member of the Presbyterian Church. He's a CMF member. He was putting on his uniform, going to church. We went to church together in Baba, and when we came back now, everything was already set for me to go back to Douala. You understand what I mean? Everything was set for me to go back to Douala, and he was doing that to everybody. When he came to Douala, he always say he's the one calling people, not even his press attaché, or not even people like Animo Monjo of late now, but Frundi will call and say, I'm on my way to Douala, and I need to see you. Either he's coming either because he used to, while in Douala, he would either live at late Metron Bami's place, or at Joshua Ossi's place in Bonanjo. So you understand, he's the one giving his program. He tells you, I'm coming, prepare your guys. And as you rightly said, how many political leaders in Cameroon now do that? We get to them, they always they make it.
How do we even have access to them? You cannot. Mais c'est ça aussi le problème. Hein. Il était tellement simple parce que je l'appelle, il dit qu'il t'attend. Tu viens à la maison, c'est lui qui te reçoit, on prépare un endroit, vous faites l'entretien et puis tu pars. Aujourd'hui, c'est autre chose.
Le chairman était l'homme du peuple. C'était un homme du peuple. C'était quelqu'un qui était véritablement attaché aux personnes, attaché aux gens. Donc, ce qui faisait de lui un homme simple, un homme proche de la population. Et pour le nombre de fois où j'ai pu accéder à sa résidence, que ce soit à Yaoundé, il a toujours cette façon pour lui d'accueillir les gens, les militants, comme un chef de famille, comme le ferait tout chef de famille. Lorsque vous accédez à sa résidence, il faut que vous soyez à l'aise, il faut que vous soyez content d'être chez lui. Donc, rapidement, on vous proposait un verre d'eau, on vous proposait rapidement quelque chose pour que vous sentiez à l'aise. Donc, c'était l'homme, c'était ça le chairman. Et ce qui a fait vitalement sa popularité. En tant que leader politique, nous étions à son école. C'est une école d'être auprès d'un tel leader. Vous apprenez comment est-ce que vous devez traiter la plus petite personne avec le même respect, la même considération que vous traiteriez peut-être un chef d'État. Vous voyez donc pourquoi est-ce que lorsque vous le voyez à l'aise avec le président Laurent Gbagbo, hein, vous ne savez pas, vous avez vu les vidéos de son récent passage à Abidjan, n'est-ce pas, au meeting
tout le monde a vu.
FPI à Yopougon. Comment est-ce que la simplicité avec laquelle, n'est-ce pas, il a même parlé au garde du corps du président Laurent Gbagbo qui mettait un masque au président Laurent Gbagbo. Il lui a demandé que, mais moi aussi, est-ce que je n'ai pas droit? Vous voyez, cette simplicité-là montre que c'était quelqu'un véritablement de très humain. Moi, ça m'a marqué quand j'ai vu cette vidéo-là.
J'ai regardé l'image de chairman avec ta permission, Léo. À son entrée, il y a le chairman POC.
Oui.
Oui, c'est-à-dire que chairman sort, il s'en va puisqu'il dit non, ça s'appelle le chairman POC. Voilà. Ça veut dire que c'est mon POC. C'est-à-dire que c'est la vente du bouillon de viande de porc et de viande de chèvre. Il part, il active le feu, la population le regarde. J'ai bonne mémoire, la fois que j'ai vu ça, j'étais avec Nice Cuisine. Il apprenait à faire la cuisine là-bas. Et il sait. C'est-à-dire que tu te demandes, tu veux combien de morceaux de viande? Si tu dis un morceau, il te sert le morceau, il demande à Chairman POC, le promoteur même de ce restaurant, mais attends, il faut combien de louches de sauce pour accompagner un morceau et combien de doigts de banane. C'est-à-dire qu'il vient servir, vous asseyez, vous mangez, et après il dit, vous êtes servi, moi je vais encore manger. Hein? Il n'y a personne pour m'offrir un plat, pas parce qu'il n'a pas le moyen de s'offrir un plat, il aurait d'ailleurs à la fin, il paye toute la facture. Cela explique également la simplicité de l'homme et qui, je pense que des gens comme ça, on peut les comparer à Jésus qui, il faut des années pour avoir des remplaçants.
Voilà pourquoi nous disons que nous avons été à la bonne école et nous pensons, nous mesurons l'héritage que le Chairman nous laisse, nous mesurons le chemin que nous avons encore parcouru et nous pensons que les cieux nous soutiendront.
Good morning to you guys in the studio. Fundi was the only politician that stood by people even in 1990 and 1992 when innocent civilians were killed in the Rwanda. He did not go for war. That is a true leader. May his soul rest in peace. Wika Edwin is writing from Fumata Padesaka. We are told online good morning and your first reaction following the demise of Nick John Fruzy, who also happens to be uncle. Please, maybe you have to unmute your set. Padesaka, it says it's not getting sound. Hello, Paddy.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, yeah, to you because Nick Fundi was not only a chairman and uncle. How did the family receive the shocking news?
Yes, you see, we are not going for work and have the day tomorrow, and we will be consulting and make sure that we give him a befitting burial as family members, close relatives, and the immediate friends. And personally, people always say Nick John Fundi is my uncle. Yes, from his age, he could be my uncle, but Nick John Fundi is my cousin.
Okay.
From the family tree perspective, he is my cousin, and I grew up knowing Nick John Fundi as a young boy when I was still at CPC Bali, and that was when I graduated from 5. You remember when the SDF was launched on the 6th of May, and there was a lot of turbulence in Bamenda. And when we came back for holidays, one of the things that we're doing was that we're roaming the streets. And we were picked up, not really knowing what politics was at the time, but we got, as young people, got excited and went very close. And I spent most of my time with him in Tarikon and roaming around him, Dr. Siga Asanga, Abe Mukong, Nyok Wakai, and all those people, those SDF barons at the time. And at the age of about 18, I started getting political consciousness, understanding what it was all about. And knowing the Chairman Fundi from my childhood, let me put it that way, or my boyhood, he has always been this person that listens and asks you very tricky questions when you never understand the meaning of those questions until you give him a response and he corrects you. So the Chairman Nick John Fundi, as a grown-up person, and when I was at the University of Yaoundé, I had already gained some political maturity and consciousness. And when we were revolting as students against the malpractices in the university, they wanted to tie us that the SDF had infiltrated the campuses of University of Yaoundé 1, that was in 1996. At the time, late Dr. Siga Asanga, who is actually my uncle, was still alive. This is, that's the nuance. Late Dr. Siga Asanga is actually my uncle, and the Chairman Nick John Fundi is a senior cousin. That's the nuances. Now, when I came to Europe, and under the conditions where we left Cameroon, Fundi was one of the person who told me that, Paddy, you see, you have a lot of energy in you, and if you stay in this country and take the offers that they are giving you, they will kill you. But I will stay here and continue to fight for you people. Because at the time, they were opting that I should there were about 6 of us who were dismissed from the university, and the negotiations were that after dismissing us, I should go and join the army. Patrice Kennedy should go and become a teacher. Banga Ongene should go to, how do they call this, ESTIC or some polytechnic, and so on. So but Frundi told us that you people are young, energetic people with a lot of courage and a lot of intelligence. It is better for you to leave. We have lived our life and we'll stay here and fight, and someday you come and pick up the fight. That's what I learned from Chairman Frundi. And in 2005, when I came back to Cameroon after 9 years of exile, he advised me that, please, Paddy, make sure that you never take any foreign nationality, because those people will use it to chastise you. They will use it against you. And each time I came, I was the only person, apart from his biological children, who would go into his room very early in the morning to say, Daddy, how are you doing? This is the person who the Chairman Frundi is. And remember, lately, I don't know, and that's why I have tears in my eyes. I brought my children, and he received them, and the Chairman is no more. That was the first time I was bringing up them together. And the Chairman said, no, you can go and do your politics. I am sick. Let them stay around me. This is the person that I know, the umbrella, the father, the mentor. And today he's no more. But it's okay. We are going to keep the flame burning. I remember when the Chairman sent me to go and see the Cardinal when I came from Europe, when we were talking about the Anglophone General Conference. He gave me specific instruction and told me, Paddy, when you go and see your man, the Cardinal, please do this. Tell him that the SDF is behind the Anglophone General Conference. That's why you saw me on that picture, on that frame with the Cardinal. And today, I'm a shattered person. I hate to cry on camera, but I can't hold my tears. The Chairman is gone, but we'll keep the flame burning. Thank you, Mr. Leo, for having me. I don't have much to say right now. I have to come back to myself so that we sit down and plan and make sure that we take the Chairman where he wants to be buried. Despite all odds, we are not going to waver. We are going to brave to make sure that he lies where he wants to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Paddy, and very touching delivery there. We know how dear the Chairman was to you and the entire family and to Cameroonians, and we just hope that God grants you the grace to overcome this. I know how close you were with the Cardinal when he died. He touched you, and today Frundi is no more. You are also left like an orphan, because two of them were your mentors. They are no longer there, but they gave you all the knowledge. They inspired you and left you with the blessings to be able to hold the flame and move on, especially on the path of peace. We hope you do them proud by replicating what they left on you. We are just 1 minute away from our time that we're supposed to be here. We say thank you for coming, Monsieur Mathieu.
Oui, merci. Ça nous permet de parler à la nouvelle génération. Vous savez, lorsque le Chairman réussissait ses exploits dans les années 90, j'étais tout simplement un jeune élève, j'étais en classe de 4e. Donc, lorsque j'ai été coopté au shadow cabinet du SDF, je lui ai dit cela, que je n'étais qu'un élève et qu'aujourd'hui, je suis fier, n'est-ce pas, d'être à ses côtés et d'apprendre la politique à ses côtés et de travailler pour l'avenir du pays à ses côtés. Aujourd'hui qu'il est parti, c'est une lourde responsabilité, mais nous sommes sûrs que nous la porterons et que nous mènerons le SDF là où il aurait souhaité que le SDF parvienne, c'est-à-dire au pouvoir.
Thank you too, Chris, for keeping us company throughout.
Thank you very much, Leo. I am just praying that the SDF should continue and then keep the flame burning, so that we should not have any opportunity to cry, not crying because of the departure of John Frundi, but we should not be given the opportunity to cry, to say if Frundi were still alive, the SDF could have continued.
Okay, we also are told that some militants of the Social Democratic Front in Ngaoundéré spoke to our correspondent out there to express their feelings after they got information that the chairman was no more. Okay, we cannot go without taking a listen to the guys in Ngaoundéré, but to say that the entire nation is touched.
Touched. I want to say the whole world is touched, and the whole world, because if the world is socialist inclined, then the whole world is touched. Okay,
but what are the lessons? Because the issue is not just mourning; the issue is taking up the attributes that Frundi carried.
And there the big question lies: is the SDF going to continue? What are the lessons that Cameroonians are going to learn or have learned? Because it can only come to have any sense if it is applied. If it is applied, it's not all about calling out government to organize a state burial. It's not only about organizing state burial. It's not only about organizing, or let's say bringing forth a monument to be able to remember John Frundi, but it is all about putting into practice and upholding peace. Because I quite remember the fun of Bambalang when he came, when he was freed. He said, "I have bought, or I sacrificed my freedom for peace." So if we can, let's you say, okay, let's give peace a chance in our country now by putting Frundi as the person who championed the cause of peace, and then it finally comes to be a reality. We'll sit and say, yes, Frundi died and brought peace to Cameroon.
Okay. We are going to be taking a listen to some militants of the Social Democratic Front. We are told that they are at the party secretariat in Ngaoundéré as we speak.
Merci. Aujourd'hui se tient la conférence régionale élective de l'Adamawa. Dans des circonstances très douloureuses. Nous perdons notre mentor, nous perdons une icône, et nous voulons avant toute chose nous incliner devant sa mémoire et adresser nos sincères condoléances à la famille. Donc, c'est un challenge pour nous parce qu'il s'en va le jour où nous venons réorganiser notre région. Ça veut dire pour nous, c'est un message porteur d'espoir qu'il nous a donné, n'est-ce pas, le bâton de la continuité. Cette conférence permet, n'est-ce pas, de former le bureau régional après la réorganisation faite dans les 5 départements. Et cela nous permettrait, n'est-ce pas, d'avoir un bureau qui soit intermédiaire entre le NEC et notre base. On sait déjà que ce parti a donné 7 sénateurs qui ont travaillé et dont le SDF est bel et bien présent dans la région de l'Adamawa. Et en ce moment où il perd son chef, le Moïse du Cameroun, qui a fait tous les combats pour le changement dans ce pays et qui ne peut pas entrer dans le palais d'unité, mais entrera par la suite de ses œuvres par tous ses mots. Today we are taking our meeting, which will select our bureau member, regional bureau member, and we know that that day we lost our chairman, John Frundi. In this context, we are so sad, and we just said that we are continuing our fight. The work that he started since 33 years will never stop. People can be sure that we will continue this work. Thank you.
C'est tout d'abord regrettable
d'entendre que notre président national n'est plus. Pour le Congrès a été proclamé depuis longtemps. Le décès est venu seulement trouver le Congrès. Quel sentiment on a vraiment? C'est un sentiment de regret pour moi. Ça, c'est pour toute la famille du SDF au niveau national et à la diaspora également. Ce que je veux dire, c'est que dans la Damawa ici, vu que le Congrès était déjà prévu et que cela nous est parvenu ce matin, bon, pour nous, c'était hier dans la soirée, vers 23 heures quelques. Mais cependant, nous allons continuer avec le travail. Nous allons tenir le Congrès parce que le plus grand reste à venir, c'est pas maintenant. Le plus grand reste à venir, il nous a laissé là un devoir, un défi à relever. Et nous devons tout faire pour que ce qu'il nous a laissé comme tâche à accomplir soit accompli avec dignité en sa mémoire. Yeah, what I'm saying is it is a sad news for us to hear that our national chairman is not more. He has been called back to the glory last night by 11 p.m. So concerning the regional convention, the convention was convened quite well before, so the information about his passing away just came and then met the convention. So in spite of that, we are going to hold the convention and then do the election we have to do, put in place the new regional executive committee, and then we'll continue with the work that he has actually handed over to each and every one of us. It's a consternation to all of us all over the nation. And so what we need to do now is to make sure that we continue with the task that he has actually left behind. And let us continue it with dignity so that his memory should not be forgotten.
With this except from Damawa region, militants who were attending the Congress to elect the new Bureau members for the Adamawa region that we are ending this special edition dedicated to the life of the man Nijon Frundi, who has been an emblematic figure of Cameroon's political landscape. He has led this party through very difficult times. He has also shown the way forward for those who are still militants of the party, even those who are now militating with other political parties. He has been a big mentor to them. In the evening, we are still going to be coming back to the legacy that Nijon Frundi is leaving back with Cameroonians. We want to say thank you, Christobi, and also to you, Mr. Maturen, who is a member of the Shadow Cabinet of the Social Democratic Front, as well as a member of that party. We want to thank you all also who took time off to follow what we were discussing out here. And to the guys who sent a report, Charles Kibois from Bamenda, Northwest Regional Capital, who fired in from the residence of Nijon Frundi, and also to you, Marie Rosine, who fired in from Nijon Frundi's residence out there in Yaoundé, as well as to you, Lasha Kinsley, and Moki, who sent in some except from Tico, as well as to you, Bo Elvis, for the wonderful report you did there early this morning. We thank the production team. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.